Hello ladies and nerds, welcome to the FBA, the Film Buffs Anonymous, where no film will be safe. This is the other DCU. If you haven't seen the other ones, we've gone over Batman, Superman, and The World's Finest, in that order. You can go back down to the channel, go back watch the other three videos. This is the next one in the series. This one is Wonder Woman. But before we get there, I would just like to say and thank our sponsors, Little Caesars. Are you a college student on a budget? Only got $5 to pay for dinner?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's true.
You and three friends each get $1.25 each. Go buy a nice hot and ready from Little Caesars.
What about taxes?
Eat a dick. So the next film in the series will be Wonder Woman. That's the title, Wonder Woman. That's it. Now, before we start, I'm going to give you the characters, names, and actors, because now we're getting into some fresh territory where you have no idea, who I'm casting or whatnot. So let's start with the characters involved. Wonder Woman, the Queen of the Amazons, obviously. The goddess Athena, the god Ares, Hercules, and Rick Flag, which will be Wonder Woman's love interest. Now I know technically it's supposed to be Steve Trevor, but we're going to go with Rick Flag for other reasons. Basically just to add some conflict later on, but we'll get to that. Now who I would cast, don't get pissed. For Wonder Woman, I would cast a brunette Jennifer Lawrence. My reasons, very simple, honestly. One, you need star power. This is the very first female-led superhero film ever created, ever, and it might be the biggest female-led film in history as far as box office potential. So, that being said, how else do you get people to back up this film? You gotta put Jennifer Lawrence behind it. She's the most popular actress around today.
This is not my show, but I don't want to sound sexist, but she has the hips to portray Wonder Woman. I mean, she has the hips.
He agrees. Okay, so Jennifer Lawrence is Wonder Woman. Now, Wonder Woman's mother, which I believe is Eleni? I can't pronounce her name.
What?
Wonder Woman's mom's name, I cannot pronounce it. She would be Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock. Athena would actually be played by Linda Carter, the original Wonder Woman. The Queen of the God of the Amazons, Athena, would be played by Linda Carter. I think that's just justice, if you think. Now, as far as Ares, would be Rufus Sewell. In case you don't know who he is, I think you call him Ugly Motherfucker number 3.
Benicio del Toro.
No, not him. Okay, that's a comedian guy. Ares would be, have you ever seen A Knight's Tale? The douchebag there. And Hercules would be, there's only one guy who could possibly play Hercules, and for a guy. And kind of like a bit of a fuck you to Marvel also, we took your guy and made him Hercules in our thing.
But he still plays Hulk.
I know, but
Or at least the voice.
we're jacking him. Oh, okay, and then for Rick Flag, we're going to have Joel Kinnaman. 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 Kinnaman.
I don't know what that is.
Anyway, Google the names. Anyway, this story is an origin story for Wonder Woman that takes place in modern times. Now, we're going to do how we've always been doing it, 3 acts. Act 1 opens with, in Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 1, Hermione tells a story about the Deathly Hallows. You know that animation? That's what we're going to use as an opening. Here's what happens. Wonder Woman's mother, Sandra Bullock, is talking down to a young Jennifer Lawrence, telling her a story. She's about 11 years old, but you don't know yet. Long ago, a couple thousand years ago, the gods ruled, but they needed slaves. So, out of sand, they created the Amazons, who were their slaves who did their bidding, this night, yada yada. Well, one day the Amazons, one of the powerful Amazons, decided to rise and stand up against the Greek gods. So, which they led a war and they led a charge. Inevitably, the loss was so great that Athena, their god, created a truce between the gods of Olympus and the Amazons, in which they get their own island, they can do their own stuff. They are protected from the outside world of man. They will never be harmed. In exchange, Ares will not be killed, which is the one that they captured, and really the master who was torturing them. Fast forward to young Princess Diana. She's on the island, but she wants freedom. She wants to go out. She wants to see man's world and see what the outside world is like, because it's been thousands of years, which her mom strictly forbids. Now at this point, Rick Flag, his jet ends up going down near the Pacific, ends up crash landing on the island. An island which normally you cannot see, but you can go through. It's just cloaked very well. He ends up appearing and they end up capturing him. So it's decided, okay, someone needs to go take him back we can't murder him. He is no threat to us. Someone needs to take him back. So there's a competition where only the winner gets to take back Rick Flag, which Diana competes in technically illegally. She's wearing a helmet. They can't tell it's her. She wins. She ends up going forward and taking Rick Flag home. They end up finding out that Ares actually ended up escaping with one of the Amazons. I know it's sounding a lot like the animated film, but it's a bit different. Bear with me when I go with this. Ares escaped and ended up killing the Amazon that was going to help him. They had no idea. Now, the day before they're going to leave, Ares appears in Wonder Woman's room. Not to fight her, not to kill her, but simply to say, who do you think your father is? It's me. You were not born of sand like your mother says. Because all the Amazon children, all the little girls that are born, they're born of sand. You mold a baby, lightning strikes it, bam, it's your child. You were of natural birth, I am your father. So she believes Ares is her dad. That's why she's stronger than the other Amazons, she's faster, she's very conflicted on the inside. Now, Act 1 would end with her taking Steve Trevor over back into America, back to the States. Act 2 would begin with him, introducing her to the way the world is. You would see her actually, talking with other women and whatnot, trying to understand their views and understand their customs. Why do you not, stand up for yourselves? I don't want this film to be very feminist, but she is a very strong woman, so we're going to have to showcase that in some way. Inevitably, Ares ends up deciding, okay, I need to unleash a new war. How do I do this? Okay, nuclear launch codes. So he decides he's going to get into the White House and take over the President of the United States, launch some nukes, kill thousands of millions of people. He gets his power back. He can rule again. He can rule the planet. What's it called? Now it gets to a point where Wonder Woman has to try and find him. Rick Flag wants to help. Act 2 would end up ending with Ares actually defeating Wonder Woman in one-on-one combat, leading into a mountain, leading up to the Mount of Olympus, where she falls. Act 3 would open with Hercules actually saving her. Hercules is her father. And when she asks, well, who are you? What are you? Look, I need to explain a few things. That's what Hercules would tell her. Your mother and I were in love. Our love was forbidden because she was a slave and I'm a god. I'm a demigod. But I did help the Amazons escape. He provided the Amazons with the weapons to help them break their chains so they could escape and they could fight back. Not saying that the Amazons didn't win or fight their own war, for the record. It's just that Hercules helped them because he was in love with Sandra Bullock, Wonder Woman's mother. Now when this happens, Ares ends up going back to the island and fatally wounding, Wonder Woman's mother. She goes, finds this out, and finds out that Ares actually went back to the White House. He's taken over the president, and he's planning on launching a massive strike. Wonder Woman ends up leading a massive, massive army of Amazons to the front lawns of the White House, where they end up being a throwdown in D.C. between Ares' armies full of mythical creatures, monsters, and beasts versus the Amazons in an all-out brawl. Now, the third act would consist of massive, massive war and fight scenes. It would ultimately end with Wonder Woman taking on Ares in one-on-one combat. Now, this is where she differentiates from the other hero, from Superman and Batman. She actually ends up cutting off his head. She kills him. She murders him. She's a warrior. Murders him. Now, once that happens, it's decided, okay, she will remain in the world of man. She will be the ambassador to the Amazons, from the Amazons to the world of man. In exchange with this, she has to visit often home, to see her mom because she misses her. At the same time, though, she can pursue her relationship with Rick Flag and dealing with the government and whatnot. By the way, that's also why she has the getup that she has. And for the Amazons, they're supposed to wear the flag of the country that they're visiting as a sign of respect. This movie would end, though, with a Luthor bot, flying into the island. She kills him, and then she says, hey, there's someone here. And you see the Batwing just flying towards the island. That would be the end credit scene. This is ultimately setting up for bigger things come Justice League time. But basically the big war scene would be the climax of the film. What deaths are there? Ares would be dead. He would stay dead, they chopped off his head. Hercules would be her father, but him and Wonder Woman's mother would never actually be seen together. They're a separate demigod, slave.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. What do you think?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always like Wonder Woman, and I've always wanted like a good movie out of her.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think we've been waiting so much, and I'll be honest, I've never even considered Jennifer Lawrence for the role, but I think she would kill it. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I'll say this much: Jennifer Lawrence. By the way, I actually have a specific time when I will release this film. October, breast cancer awareness. You shove her in front of every single women's rights group. You shove her in front of every single talk, like The View, The Talk, all those shows. You shove her in front of all this because this is the one chance that women are going to get to have a real good superhero film. And if this fails, there will not be any in the future. So again, breast cancer awareness. If I'm an executive, I'll tell them, okay, for every ticket that we sell, I will donate $1 to breast cancer awareness research. You get everyone, you get the press behind it, you get everyone you can. You have several cameos in this. I would have Emily Blunt. Oh, by the way, Emily Blunt would be one of the Amazons, one of the friends, like the book nerd, the one who helps her in combat and whatnot. God damn, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right, great.
We have one film. All right, awesome. This was one episode of the DCU. Go check out the other 3 next week. Green Lantern. Again, some more original stuff. And I'll give you a hint as to who plays Green Lantern. It's a story about how some war got twisted upside down. I like to tell you. No, how's the rap go?
You ruined it.
Shut up.
You ruined it.
Shut up.
You ruined it.
I ruined the rap, I ruined the video.
You ruined the spoiler.
The ruler, do you know who I'm talking about?
Of course.
My life got twisted
Upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there.
Tell you how I give the Prince of Bel-Air.